All right, this your boy K-Dub from In Any Arena. All right, this is the video from TMZ of Draymond Green literally punching Jordan Poole. As you can see, they're mouthing off something back and forth, and Draymond Green approaches Jordan Poole, and then he's going to proceed to go chest to chest with him. Right there, he should have been knocked out, but boom, Draymond got him.
Damn! Thank you for watching In Any Arena. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right, let's get into it. Dub, we back. What's good, brother?
I can't call it, man. Happy weekend to you.
Yes, sir. Happy weekend. Hey, man, before we get into anything, I need y'all to give us that Mercedes-Benz, that Mercedes-Benz treatment. And I'm not talking S550. We talking CLS. I need y'all to comment, like, and subscribe.
Without further ado, let's get into it.
What a week in sports, man. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the NBA preseason is here. We've been doing a lot of talk around, John Wall coming back, Kawhi coming off an injury. But it looks like the Warriors are scrapping for a title run. And I mean, literally scrapping. So the video dropped. I mean, we heard earlier in the week, last week, Draymond had a whole, falling out with Jordan Poole. We didn't know to what extent. I saw the video, and your boy got knocked out cold. What's your thoughts on it, Dub?
Well, first of all, let me start with TMZ. TMZ is undefeated. I don't understand how TMZ gets footage or access to the facility, the Warriors facility, to get the recording of Draymond punching Jordan Poole. And another thing that I want to call out is this Draymond Green. Well, first of all, the approach of Draymond Green to Jordan Poole. He comes to a grown man and he go chest to chest with him. Where I'm from, and I know where you from, that's grounds for you getting chin check right there. Yeah. Because at that point, you already provoking me to fight you. So that means we got to go ahead and make this happen. So I'm going to go ahead and chin check you. So what happened to Jordan Poole didn't happen to me. So when Jordan Poole had pushed him, I said, okay, this ain't going to end too well. And then Draymond came with the hard right, hit him right in the chin, knocked him out. So let me take a moment to talk about Draymond Green. Draymond Green, I love the tenacity that he plays with. He's very intense, and he's the glue to the Warriors, right? He makes everything whole. Contrary to that, someone with his type of energy, his motor, and his personality, oftentimes he engages in conflict that he does not need to engage with. Now, you and I, we both play sports, and pretty much almost at the highest level, right? Because you played football in college, I did track in college.
For sure.
So there are going to be times that you have discourse with your teammate, right? But it's always respectful. Now, sometimes hands may fly, I'm just saying, depending on what sport. But we never go put a brother in harm's way by just randomly walking up to him and knocking him out. We're just not going to do that. But it is a part of sports. Yeah. But he this is a reoccurring theme for him. And so I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch the Amazon Prime series, a 45-minute series with Draymond Green. And he's talking about mental health. He's talking about the power of meditation. He was doing Reiki, like different tactics to help him become more grounded.
For sure.
Up here mentally. I just feel like he just always has a lapse in judgment. And so I think he should be suspended, man. I think he should get a fine. And I think he should be suspended. Even though it happened within the confines of the Warriors facility, I still think that the NBA should step in and issue him some type of fine, because this is becoming ridiculous. But those are my initial thoughts. But I mean, how do you feel about the situation?
So I think it's very nuanced. Like, on one hand, like you were talking about the whole thing with Jordan Poole. So let me start from the beginning. I think that to some extent Jordan Poole has been feeling himself, and I think that's been evident coming from the team in different ways for some time now. Going back to last season, it was after a game that I was watching where they kind of asked Jordan Poole. Steph Curry was hurt going towards the playoffs last year, I believe, and was out. And Jordan Poole had a big game. And they kind of, the reporters are kind of going to say little things that you have to really be trained
Yeah.
on how to respond to. And they said something like, you guys might not even need Steph in this scenario. And he was so excited about the game. His response was like telltale, like kind of again, like he was like really feeling himself. I know Jordan Poole is due for a pretty large contract here soon, with the way that he's been playing. And then I look at the responses from Clay and from Steph in the aftermath. And Clay, and we'll have to pull this up, but Clay's response was like, "Hey, Draymond is a part of our culture. At some point, Draymond's going to yell at you. He's going to get on you, and if you can't take that, you just can't be a warrior, right?"
Mhm.
Steph's comments in response were also kind of nonchalant. Neither one of them said, "Hey, we can't tolerate this type of activity. We can't have this type of energy on the team." Their comments were kind of behind Draymond. So what that means to me is there's something underlying there with the core of this team feeling like Jordan Poole is smelling himself and kind of got beside himself
But do you
because
think there's a fine line though? As a verbal leader,
well,
do you think there's
well,
a
I'm
fine
not.
line
I,
that you
I
just
haven't.
can't
I
cross?
haven't got to the actual altercation
Oh,
yet.
okay,
I'm just
okay.
talking
My
about
bad, my bad. I know
what
you setting the stage. My
I'm
bad.
just. I'm just kind of talking about what I think could have been
Okay,
brewing to
okay,
lead to this
okay.
type of energy.
I
So
got you. Okay.
again, and you tie back to KD when we saw the debacle with Draymond and KD falling out on the bench. We all know KD was smelling himself because of the tweets, and I mean it's KD, one of the greatest basketball players in the world. So we get that.
Yeah.
But the Warriors have built something that they didn't have LeBron come there or Giannis or they did have KD come there, but they won before that. Steph Curry and Draymond. So they don't have these questions around who they are. They built it from nothing. So when you look at that, I think that dynamic led to what we were able to see from TMZ. And like you said, TMZ, I mean, hands down, it's a byproduct of America. They got the money to pay for these things. I saw somewhere that the person that released the video got between $50,000 and $100,000 to get the video up. So if you got the money, you can find and get people to do whatever it is you want. But in the moment, okay, so we get to the fight. You can see that they're arguing or drawing back and forth, even though there's no sound. And I think again, the mistake that Jordan Poole make is when somebody walks up on you, you don't just look away. Even if you don't want that conflict, you should just
Hand down,
walk.
man down.
You should
Hand down,
walk
man down.
away or do something. You don't just stand there and look away. Then he pushed Draymond and still wasn't looking at him. And he just kind of pushed him, still looking to the side, and boom, right, a right jab coming out of nowhere. So his actions, are they inexcusable? I don't know because we've seen Steve Smith.
Absolutely.
We saw Steve Smith still off on Ken Lucas, in a Panthers practice, give Ken Lucas a black eye, and Steve Smith didn't receive a harsh punishment from the Panthers at that time for whatever reason. Their altercation never quite came out why Steve Smith and Ken Lucas had that altercation. Michael Jordan stole off on Steve Kerr, the Warriors coach, in practice. In the Last Dance, we hear Steve Kerr talk about that. So we
And
and
Aaron
we get
Donald.
him
And you got Aaron Donald. That situation in
here.
LA.
Situation with Aaron Donald. We got the
Yeah.
situation where Percy Harvin stole off on his teammate the week leading up to the Super Bowl and gave him a black eye.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're on a sports team, especially football with this type of energy charged up, this is basketball, but we were talking about the football examples, and I played football. You're going to have fights. Guys are going to get into it.
No
It
doubt.
so
Yeah.
so have I ever seen a guy get hit in practice? Yes. Have I ever hit a guy in practice? Yes. Have I ever seen anyone get knocked out? No. Did he intend to knock Jordan
Oh, I'm
Poole out? I'm
definitely gonna
sure he
yank you up
didn't.
by your face mask. Oh, I'll yank you up by your face mask in a minute.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
I don't think he intended to knock Jordan Poole out.
Yeah, you do.
So it's like a tough thing. And then it's like, so do you suspend him? I don't think you should suspend him. I think, listen, these things happen. Find him. Sit down with the guys. Can they work
Well,
through it? Some people are even calling for Draymond to get traded. I'm like, I don't know
nah,
about that.
not all that. Here's the biggest thing that I want to question. How the hell did they get outside of the practice facility?
The video?
How did this incident, period, how did people find out about the hit? I mean, I'm assuming that you had news outlets and media outlets and such that were at the practices. So that's probably how it got out. But I just feel like some of these practices need to be closed off. If I were a coach, all my shits would be closed off. Unless you do like a media thing and we just putting up shots. Nothing crazy. All my practices would be closed off.
It's kind of the nature of what we deal with today with the news cycle. Like ESPN, all of these different outlets, whether it be, TMZ, whatever, they're looking and searching for stories. They're searching for drama. They're pulling for it. So, Adam Schefter, a lot of times when he reports on stories, he's like, yes, I talked to some players on the team. And it's like, it's crazy that people are just giving this information. Like, so I don't know how it got out. It's crazy, like you said, the TMZ got the video. But I think the best thing the Warriors can do is use this to come together, to be better brothers to one another, and to push to win another championship.
I agree, bro. I agree.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully Draymond doesn't get traded. I highly doubt it because he's the core of that team. Hopefully they don't get Jordan out of there because he's been integral in terms of their success as of late too. So we'll see what happens with that. But as Floyd says, and as we hear with every boxing match, protect yourself at all times. Always in effect. But again, we gave y'all the scoop on the Draymond Jordan Poole fight. Listen, keep your hands up, mind your business. When it's somebody bigger than you, do whatever you got to do to avoid that type of conflict. But if you like what Dub and I are talking about here today, as always, give us that CLS, that comment, like, subscribe treatment. And we'll be back with more from In the Arena.
Until next time.
How much do we want to find out? So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out.